Good morning students. So we will see the next type of rectifier, that is your high input impedance full wave rectifier. So in your high input impedance full wave rectifier, we are going to use a non-inverting amplifier configuration to present the high input impedance for the signal there. So your operational amplifier A1 together with the resistors R3 and R4 is going to constitute a non-inverting amplifier. And one more amplifier we are going to use, that is your A2, your op-amp A2 with R5 and R6 is also going to be used as a non-inverting amplifier. Your diodes D1 and D2 is going to affect the operation of the circuit. So here during the positive cycle of the input waveform, the output terminal of A2 is going to be positive. So when the output terminal of A2 is going to be positive, my diode D2 is going to be forward biased and D1 is going to be reverse biased there. So as a result, the voltages at the junctions of R5 and R6, that is at terminal C, is going to follow the input voltage at the non-inverting terminal, input terminal of your A2. So here we can see that this is your high input impedance full wave precision rectifier. Now we are going to see that you are going to have your non-inverting amplifier configuration there. So now my input voltage is going to be here positive. If my input voltage is going to be here positive, what happens is the voltage at this point is positive. When the voltage at this point is going to be positive, the voltage at this point will also be positive. When the voltage at this point is going to be positive, my diode is going to be connected to the negative terminal there. So this will be reverse biased. So we can say that my VI is going to be positive. So this I will take it as your VO1. So your VO, I will take this as VO2 because this is your amplifier 2. This is your VON. So now my VO2 is also going to be positive. When VO2 is going to be positive, my diode D1 is going to be in the reverse bias state. So here it will act like an open switch. So in this case, this is going to act like an open switch there. And now my diode D2. So coming to diode D2, this is your negative voltage there. So here we are going to have the positive, means this positive is going to be connected to positive of the diode. That means this is going to act like a short circuit. So when it is going to act like a short circuit, this circuit will behave like an voltage follower. So a D2 will be forward biased and the circuit will, the lower part of the circuit will act as a voltage follower there. So when it's going to act as a voltage follower, my input voltage is going to be VI. That means the terminal at this point is going to be here VI. And here I am not going to have any output voltage. So this is going to be, no output voltage is going to be at this junction B there. Okay, so this is when A2, when the input is going to be given to your amplifier A2. Now if I am going to give the same input to your amplifier A1, so here this is going to be plus. When this is going to be plus, the voltage at this point is also going to be a positive one. So when this voltage is going to be positive, we can see that you are going to have the output voltage. I should know what is going to be the output voltage there. So since there is going to be no voltage at this point, I can assume that this is going to be at ground. I want to find out what is going to be the drop at across this voltage, this resistance there. So in that case, we can see that if this is going to be grounded, it will act like an inverting configuration there. So non-inverting configuration. So my V01 voltage is going to be here 1 plus your R3 divided by your R4 into VI. So what is R3? It is 1 plus 2 into R4 divided by R4 into VI. So that means that it is 3 VI. The voltage I am going to get here is going to be 3 VI there. So now I want to find out what is going to be the voltage I am going to get at VA. So if I am going to see the voltage VA is nothing but the drop across this R4 resistance there. So to find the drop across this R4 resistance, I should know what is your total voltage there. Total voltage is going to be 3 VI into drop across which resistance I want, your R4, divided by what is the total resistance, R4 plus R3. So R4 plus R3. So we know that it is your 3 VI into R4 divided by 3R4 there. So that means that this R4 and this R4 gets cancelled and this 3 and this 3 gets cancelled. That means that the output voltage is going to be here. So this is your 3, this is the value to be your Vi. So when the voltage at your terminal A is going to be Vi and the voltage at terminal C is also going to be Vi and the voltage at terminal B is going to be 0. That means here we can say that this voltage is going to be same and this voltage is going to be same. When same voltages are going to be present, there is going to be no current that is going to flow through this R4 and R5. So no current flows through R4 and R5 then. So when no current flows through R4 and R5, in that case, if I am going to see here, you are going to have this current is going to come here and it is going to get divided like this. When there is going to be no current here, surely the current drawn by the input terminals is negligible. So same current will flow here. That means there is going to be no current through this R3 resistor also. When there is going to be no current through this resistance R3, there is going to be no voltage drop across this output there. That means that whatever is going to be there, when there is going to be no current here, automatically there is going to be no current across this R1 resistance also. That means that my output is going to be same as the input there. So here I will be having the output voltage to be your Vi. So I can see that my output voltage is going to be Vi because there is going to be no current flowing in your R3 resistance as well as in your R1 resistance. When no current means my output is going to be same as the input. So I am going to have the output to be same here. So if I am going to see the VA voltage, your VA voltage is going to be Vi. So I am going to have this Vi voltage to be present here. Next your VB voltage. So VB voltage is going to be here ground. So in this case we are going to connect it to the ground there. That means the same Vi is going to be present at this point also. Your Vi voltage you are going to get. Next here VC voltage, if I am going to see, again your VC voltage is going to be here, your Vi there. This is for the positive half cycle there. So next is we are going to see for the negative half cycle. So for the negative half cycle, so the same thing what we have explained here. The voltage at the junction R3 and R4 also follows your input voltage applied to the non-inverting terminal of your A1. So when Vi is going to appear at the terminal A and terminal C, there is going to be no voltage drop across your R4 and R5. So consequently there will be no current that is going to flow through R3 and no voltage drop across your R1. So we can say that the circuit output voltage is going to be same as that at the terminal A, that is Vi. Now when the input voltage is going to be negative, your diode D2 is going to be reverse biased and diode D1 is going to be forward biased, which is going to give an output at the junction of R4 and R5. So now because R5 is equivalent to R6, the voltage at the terminal B is going to be minus 2 Vi. The circuit output voltage can be determined by first calculating the current flowing in each resistor there. So now if I am going to draw the circuit, your circuit is going to be like this. So here this is your minus plus. So here you are going to have your resistance R1 to be present. So this voltage, same thing here in this case, this is going to be a feedback, and here I am going to have my resistance R3, where R3 is going to be equivalent to 2 times your R4 there. And now this is going to be a resistance R4, and here I am going to have, this is plus and this is your minus there. So this is plus, this is minus. So now this is going to be connected to your resistance R5, and here this is you are going to connect it to your resistance R6. So now this is going to be your input voltage Vi. So now we can see that so now this is going to be at the ground terminal. So this terminal is going to be A, this terminal is going to be your B terminal, this is your C terminal there, and this is going to be my V output there. So here to find out when my input voltage is going to be negative, so here your diode is going to be like how, if I am going to see, so your diode is going to be in this direction there. So here So if I am going to draw the circuit, so this is going to be your my plus, this is your minus, and I am going to have here your resistance R1 to be present, and this is going to be your VI there. And here this is your negative terminal. So your negative terminal, I am going to have here your R3 resistance, where your R3 resistance is going to be twice that of your R4. And this inverting is going to be connected to your R3. And now I am going to have here your R4 resistance, and now again one more operational amplifier, that is going to be plus, and this, so this is going to be minus, your plus, and this is going to be your minus there. So here this is going to be your VI voltage there. Same VI voltage we are going to give, and this negative terminal I am going to connect it like this. So here this is going to be your R5, and this is going to be your R6. So here we are going to have your R6 resistance to be present. So here in this case we are going to have, see what is going to be the output voltage. So the terminal voltages are going to be here, this is your A, this is your B, and this is going to be C, and now this is going to be my output voltage there. So here I am going to have your diode to be present. If I am going to take this to be a diode D1, and this is going to be your diode D2 there. So now during your positive cycle, so during your negative cycle, what happens when my input is negative? This is your non-inverting terminal. So that means that the voltage at this point is going to be here negative. When it is going to be, when VI is negative, my V02 is going, this is your A2, and this is going to be your A1. So my V02 is going to be negative. When my V02 is going to be negative, then automatically my diode D2 is going to be forward biased, and D1 is going to be in the reverse bias state. So when this is going to be in the forward bias state, I should see what is going to be the output voltage I am going to get. So what is the output voltage I am going to get here is, it is going to act like a non-inverting amplifier. So it is going to act like a non-inverting amplifier. The voltage at your VB is going to be 1 plus RF, feedback resistance is your R5, divided by R6 input resistance into your minus VI. So if my R5 is equal to R6, then in that case it is going to be minus 2 VI. So the voltage at this terminal B is going to be minus 2 VI there. Now with this circuit, if I am going to redraw it, so this is going to be my R1 resistance, and here I am going to have, this is your plus, this is your minus, and here I am going to have your R3 resistance, and this is going to be your R4 resistance, and this inverting terminal is going to be connected to this junction, and this R4 is going to be connected to the B terminal. So now the voltage at this B terminal is going to be minus 2 VI. Okay, and the voltage at this terminal is going to be here V minus VI. So now this is going to be your A terminal there. So I have to find out what is going to be the output there. So here, to find out this output at this point, due to this negative cycle, here two inputs are going to be there. So when I am going to consider your minus 2 VI, that is when I am going to consider minus 2 VI, the output I can write it as your Vx. When input is going to be only minus Vi, the output I will be writing it as Vy. That is, I am going to apply the superposition theorem there. So to apply the superposition theorem, now first I will consider this minus 2Vi. This minus 2Vi I will consider, and I will make this Vi voltage to be at ground potential. So now this is going to act like an inverting amplifier. So here you are going to have, the signal is going to be fed to through your input resistor to your inverting terminal. That means it is going to act as an inverting configuration. So I can write my Vx is equivalent to, so my feedback resistance, so minus feedback resistance is going to be your R3 divided by your input resistance is R4, and the signal is going to be minus 2 Vi. So here R3 is nothing but 2 times of your R4. So what I can do, this R4 and R4 gets cancelled, this minus and minus gets cancelled. So my Vx is going to be here, minus into minus is plus 4 Vi. So my Vx is going to be 4 into Vi. Now when minus 2 Vi is considered. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to consider V, that is I am going to consider this minus Vi, and I am going to ground your B terminal there. So when I am going to ground this is going to act like a non-inverting amplifier. So non-inverting amplifier means my Vi can be written as your 1 plus your feedback resistance is R3, and your input resistance is going to be R4 into your input voltage is going to be here minus Vi. So that means that your R3 is nothing but 2 times of your R4. We know that R3 is 2 times of your R4. So here if I am going to have this R4 and R4 gets cancelled, so your Vy is going to be minus 3 Vi. So here by applying a superposition theorem, your V0 is equivalent to Vx plus Vy. So V0 is equivalent to Vx plus Vy. So Vx is nothing but 4 Vi and Vy is nothing but minus 3 Vi. So that means that my output voltage is going to be Vi. Even if my input is going to be a negative voltage, my output is going to be a positive one. So here for both positive and negative half cycles, we are going to get the output there. So we say that your Vx is going to be your minus 3 Vi and Vy is going to be your 4 Vy. That is how we are going to consider the combination. Accordingly, we will be getting the output. So the total output, if I am going to see, it is nothing but your Vi. So we say that the output voltage is going to be equivalent to the input, and it is going to be positive when the input is negative. Similarly, the output is also positive when the input is positive. So the circuit is going to behave like a full wave rectifier. So to design this R6, first we are going to calculate, to design we are going to calculate the R6 there. R6 is first calculated, then R4 is equivalent to R5 is equivalent to R6. Then your R3 is equivalent to 2 times your R4 resistance there. So here you are using a bipolar op amps with VCC is equivalent to plus or minus 15 volts. We are going to design the high input impedance precision full wave rectifier circuit in the figure. So the input peak voltage is going to be 1 volt and no amplification is to occur. So here we know that I6 is going to be 500 microamps for the adequate diode current, and R6 is equivalent to Vi by I6. That is 1 volt divided by 500 microamps is 2 kilo ohms there. So in that case the standard resistance value is going to be 1.8 kilo ohms. We know that once R6 is calculated, we can find out R4, R5 and R6. R4 is equivalent to R5 is equivalent to R6, that is 1.8 K. With R3 is nothing but 2 times of your R4, that is 3.6 kilo ohms there. So to find out the R1 compensation resistance, that is R3 parallel R4, that is nothing but 1.2 K. R2 is nothing but R6 parallel R5, that is 1.K parallel 1.K is nothing, 1.8K is nothing but 900 ohms. So we are going to use a standard 1K ohm resistor value. So to compensate the op amps for your AV1, we are going to use it as the gain to be 2, and the A2 is going to be used as an voltage follower circuit. So the design procedure of the precision full wave or half wave rectifier is, we are going to select the value of R1 such that I1 is nothing but the diode current there, where the diode current should be less than or equivalent to 500 microamps. So here in this case it is going to be Vs minimum divided by R1. Next, after selecting your R1, we have to go for R2. So depending on the gain there. So here we are going to take R2 is equivalent to 2R1 for full wave rectifier. But for half wave rectifier, just we are going to take it as V0 peak divided by I1. Now we are going to choose R3. The compensation resistor is nothing but the parallel combination of R1 and R2. Then you are going to select the value of a full wave rectifier. Your R4 is equivalent to R5 is equivalent to R1. So we are going to select the R6. R6 is nothing but V0 by Vi into R5. So for diodes D1 and D2, your maximum reverse voltage should be greater than the supply voltage, that is 30 volts. the diode reverse recovering time should be 0.1 t, that is 0.1 by f, that is 0.1 microseconds. Thank you.